Hello, everybody, and welcome. All thanks to LD Mobile. This is NBL Overtime. Hashtag NBL Overtime to get involved. We're kind of getting a little bit excited because preseason games are coming, and that is what it has been in 2020. But here we are, starting to get closer and closer to the start of the year. Man who's going to feature not only in the NBL games, but also the preseason. Head coach Connor Henry about to join us, but Liam Santamaria, Homicide, hello to you.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited. This is what we do. We're getting closer to that season. I can feel it. You know what?
You're looking pretty snazzy today.
You are looking snazzy, Cam.
It's a big week,
man.
It's a big week. I had an NBL barbecue last week. Ray Gordon come around and we were able to do that. So I've been dressed up for the occasion. Of course, Melbourne Cup week, couple of little things on. But I'm excited about this. I'm excited to be joined. We're excited to be joined. Connor Henry, the coach at Adelaide 36ers. As we welcome you in, mate. Hey, first day on the job today, officially on court today in the first preseason workout. How'd it go?
First real good session. With all the COVID restrictions, we got through that and ticked all the boxes, and then got after it on the court. We did a little warm up, and then we did a little conditioning test, as you do most of those first days, and then we went straight into some defense. So guys got through it. A little fatigued, and we'll bounce back tomorrow and have another one.
Just on the conditioning test, and it's always tough early preseason, doesn't matter what level you're at, but just seeing from, say, and a lot of this is on Instagram, but also the social media accounts of the teams, but also the individual players. A lot of your crew been working out for a little while as well. So I dare say, while it wouldn't have been easy, it would have been some pretty nice results today.
Yeah, it was. They got through it pretty good compared to an informal one we had, I want to say 3 weeks ago, where it was where it gassed them pretty good, and they realized. But since then, all the informal workouts have been good. We've been trying to put a little bit of stuff in, yet get a lot of shots up, work on skills with each player. I like where we're at. As we all know, it's been just such a long period of time where we can start to play, and so we're looking forward to it.
Coach, who deserves an individual shout out? Who has reported to preseason in immaculate shape?
Well, you can say DJ for sure, because DJ is just at that size a phenomenal athlete. He just runs all day, so he hasn't skipped a beat. Really, most of the guys have come in pretty good shape. Sunday, of course, once we got a few guys out of quarantine those 2 weeks, and we got them back in delicately over the first 3 days, guys have taken off. Sunday's been, really, really, really good guarding the ball. Physically, he's put on even more strength. He's just a beast in a lot of areas. Has really been improving. We've been working on his shooting mechanics, and we haven't played any games yet, but testing wise, he's been shooting it really well. And then you look at Isaac and Keanu inside. Keanu came out of quarantine a little bit shaky, and it took us a little while to get him up and running, but now he's at full speed, and Isaac's just been a beast, smashing it in the weight room and on the court. So we like I said, we like where we're at. Doesn't mean anything, but we're working hard.
Now let's get into it. I want to hear about the young fella, Coach Josh Giddey.
Yeah.
How excited are you, and how excited is he at his first couple days of practice?
Well, I didn't see him. I saw him a year ago in Chicago at pre-draft camp, at the basketball borders camp, and he was this tall, gangly, skinny kid, and didn't play well. And he and I laugh about it all the time because I was there to watch him, and he didn't play that well and got through it. And then when he rocked up a number of weeks back and walked in the door the first day, I was just like, he's completely transformed his body. He's grown up. He's put on a ton of strength. All the off-season workouts before the shutdown there in Melbourne with Gorge and DMAC and some of those other guys that had a group going. He's really improved. His shot looks much improved. still working on some things. We were, how is he going to go against grown men in practice? How is he going to be able to keep up with the pace? Is he going to be able to handle the physicality? And we've been really, really pleased with how that's gone. Still learning a lot of things, but he's one of the smartest kids that I've ever been around. You don't have to tell him things twice. He sees it on the floor. Guys now, believe me, guys run around like this. They got their hands up because he's slinging it, whether he's coming out of pick and roll off the side or coming downhill on a step up. He's looked really, really good, and I've been pleased with his finish game in amongst the big guys. So he's getting it. We're excited. He's in great shape, and yet he's 18 years old. I think even more will come. I think the biggest challenge for all of us is trying to figure out how much we push them still, because we don't play until middle January or a little while after. So we'll have to figure that out. But he's looked real good.
And that's the most important thing. Sorry, Kim. That's the most important thing. And that's why it's important for a young talent like that to have a coach like you who's been there on the highest level, played, coached, and you coached over here. So he's in good hands is my point, and it's good to know that.
Well, thank you. The great thing about Josh is that there'll be times where, I'll go to him and say, you good? You want to, sub you out here or just checking on how he is physically. And he always wants more. So there's no shutting it off. He wants more knowledge of the game. He wants more drills. He wants to shoot extra shots after workouts. He texts over the weekend when we say, look, you guys get 2 days. Don't just rest. No, he's texting. He wants to find a gym and get some extra shots up. So he's exceptional for 18 years old.
You mentioned the season there, and of course, being such an unknown when it will start and being pushed back and all the rest of it. But there are a couple of preseason games that are scheduled in, and it's going to be almost used as almost like a test run for the entire league about protocols and everything around coronavirus. Has it changed the feeling amongst the group? I know it's not the start of the season, but you got something to aim for a little bit more now in the last couple of maybe the last week since the announcement.
Yeah, I think it has. We've been getting in blocks of work over the last couple of months. We'll work for a good 10 days, but give them some lighter sessions, some heavier sessions, and then give them 2-3 days off. And we've been in this kind of routine now for a while, but now that the games have come up, we've got something to look forward to, start to put a few more things in and get ready for it. Start to figure out what combinations that we want to look at when we play Brisbane in those 2 games, and we'll play everybody and get a good long look at even some of our junior players that are trialing with us and working from the state league. So it has given us something to shoot for.
Coach, you've obviously got Donald Sloan still to come into the mix when he arrives. What's the latest with the final roster spot? You guys have just got the one import signed. What's the latest in terms of the plans that you and Jeff have in place for that spot?
Well, first of all, on D Sloan, he's expecting a baby any minute. So we're in touch. We're looking forward to the good news and thinking good thoughts for him. He's excited. I've talked to him a couple times. He looks in great shape. And as you get older, your body changes, and he's lean and fit and has been working out a couple days, and he's anxious to get here. And we've got all our paperwork in line. So give him a few weeks at home and with the newborn, and then he wants to get on a plane. So that's all set and very positive for us. As far as the second spot goes, we do have a second spot. What will it be? Most likely it's going to be a 3-and-D type player to pair with. We've got a lot of guards right now. And we've got Jack McVeigh at the 3, and we like Jack, and he's playing well. But we don't have an elite player there or combine him with Jack where we've got that position locked down. And so, there's a number of players on the board. We haven't gone down the track with any of them. The Scotty Hobson type player, I think everybody sees that player in the league and the success and the athleticism and the ability to go get you a bucket at any time. That's an attractive type of player for us. So that's who we're looking at. A Torrey Craig type player when he was here would be ideal for us to be able to guard multiple spots and to have the athleticism and the scoring ability. So are we close? Not even. We've had some discussions, but we're kind of waiting to see how Donald gets through this. We get an idea when Donald's going to get here, then ramp it up. The fixtures are coming from the league shortly. It'll help us financially to make decisions on when we want to pull that trigger. And so that's where we're at.
Just to jump in and follow up, you mentioned before about the paperwork being in with regards to Donald for getting him over. This is something that I've just been hearing more about in recent times, the fact that there's much more involved in bringing players over this year under the current circumstances than there usually is. We on the show have been talking about teams wait to see what happened with the NBA training camp cuts and whatnot. But what insights can you give us and the viewers about how long it potentially takes to get someone out here once you've got them signed?
Well, the process has probably sped up in the last 3 weeks, and we got the final decision. But before that, there's a lot of paperwork, phone calls, and just phone calls that go back and forth for, is it the right time to ask for the paperwork, to try to push the paperwork through, because it was such a fluid situation from the government with all of the COVID and the situation in Victoria that, numbers had to start to come down, and everything had to be considered. It took quite a long time for me, and I've been here now 3.5 months, for me to get the travel visa and to be get the designation of an essential worker. And that once that came, that travel letter actually didn't come until really the day before I flew. Okay, so you can get the visa approved, and then you start going down the track and discussing things with getting on an airplane, and then you find a flight that'll get here because there's not a lot of flights that are coming, and then you go through the process and hopefully get that travel letter. And I'm assuming that's what we will go through with Donald once we get a fixed date on when we want to get him here, and we'll request that.
It's a changing world in so many ways. Homicide, before we let Coach go, anything else?
Just good luck in these preseason games. And I'll be keeping my eye out on that young fella of yours. I've been hearing a whole lot of great things about him. So yeah, I'll definitely be looking out for him and the rest of the Adelaide 36ers.
Thanks, man. Yeah, Giddy's going to play. We're going to put him out there. He needs to play. He needs to develop. And we recruited him for that exact spot. And the good thing is within the system, he can play 1, 2, or 3. They're all ball handling positions around our 2 bigs. So he can play that lead guard, or he can run the wing, and we can throw it to him and he can make some magic happen. So we're excited for him.
Can't wait to see it.
Coach, you happy to have Tire Power on board? Yes,
we did Tire Power the other day. Kind of rainy day out there on the hill, but we got it done, and it was good. That was Josh's first real press conference, and so he was he was good about it. They had him change a tire in the garage with the gun, and he goes, he asked me, have you ever changed one without the gun? I said, yeah. He goes, well, how long does it take? I said, well, if you're good, it takes maybe 30 minutes. If you're bad like me, it takes a lot longer. But he had fun with it, and we're very happy to have Tire Power as a sponsor.
I liked it. Right. The young fella out there changing tires and wearing Jordan 4s.
Right. Nice look.
Connor, thank you, mate. Great to have you back on court. Looking forward to those preseason games. We get closer to the season, mate. Good luck.
Thanks, guys.
Hashtag NBL Overtime. Sixers fans, get involved. Exciting times ahead towards a couple of preseason games.
Hi, I'm Tristan Chai. I'm the head physiotherapist at the Adelaide 36ers. Today we're down at Spark at Mile End. We're doing some pre-season screening for the guys. This is what we do routinely before they start any training with us. It comprises of 3 parts. We have the doctor do his review on previous injuries and health issues. We have the nurse taking bloods, doing an ECG to check heart health, and also getting some concussion baseline testing done. And we have myself and my team of physios looking at movements and checking that their bodies are right so that we can hand them over to the strength and conditioning staff. So the reason we do this is to try and get them cleared so they can go train with the coaches and train with the strength and conditioning staff. Some of the information that we gather will help guide some of the strength and conditioning stuff. On the flip side of that, if there's any deficits or anything that raises an eyebrow, we can send them off for further investigation. So we might send them off for an MRI or ultrasound to investigate something. That's the main reason we do this, and it's a good way to get to know some of the new guys that are at the club that we haven't seen close up physically yet.
Hashtag NBL Overtime, a little of the Adelaide 36ers as they get into pre-season. But something I did like last couple of days, Homicide, is when Liam, this is an annual thing as well, he goes the top 10, he does a countdown of the free agent signings so far. And I love it. You can check it out, nbl.com.au on in the NBL app. I have a feeling you two are going to disagree on something, and I like it. So I roll through these. Isaac Humphries, speaking Adelaide 36ers, he's a 10. This is how big some of these signings are. Cam Glidden over at the Phoenix at 9. Finn Delaney, the re-signing at the Breakers. Will Magnay at the Bullets at 7. Daniel Johnson, who signed a long time ago still at the 36ers. Ding Adele at the Hawks. Tai Webster at the New Zealand Breakers. We'll get back to him. Lamar Patterson at the New Zealand Breakers. Chris Golding at Melbourne United. And Bryce Cotton at the Perth Wildcats. That is Liam Santamaria's top 10 free agent signings so far. Got to put that in there. NBL.com.au. Check it out on the app. Homicide, you've been blowing up about Tai Webster, so you can go first.
Well, had a look at Liam's top 10 signings so far. And the honorable mention.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to write down, I like the names.
Mm-hmm.
I think the order for some of these names need to change a little bit.
Ooh,
Not much.
Here we go.
Just a little bit.
Here we go.
I got number 1.
Okay.
It's a consensus number 1.
I mean, come on. This is the GOAT import of all time.
All right.
Cotton. Number 2. Casper Ware re-signing back.
Nah, it was an opt-in.
I mean, there's no difference with Cotton, is it?
He got a new 3-year deal.
I tell you what, I'm with Homicide here. Because I can't see where he's going.
Look, Casper could have left. For him to re-sign,
Back in.
that's equivalent. Like, this is a guy who walks into the grand finals.
Hey, I love it.
That is huge.
Love it.
Okay.
I can't believe I love Homicide arguing on a technicality, and I love them all here. I'm here for it.
Look, Patterson at number 3.
Mm-hmm.
All NBL, we know who this guy is, and that is an incredible pickup for New Zealand with the loss of Scotty Hobson. At 4, Tai Webster. This is a huge pickup as a local who's played his whole career in Europe for some big money. For them to be able to keep him home is incredible in itself.
He's coming for
at number 5. Will Magnay.
Ooh.
At number 5 is Will Magnay.
Whew.
At least 10 NBA teams want this guy right now. He was so hot this year. Not only did he get an award, right?
Yeah.
Well deserved. For him to sign during the season back, that goes to show, I think that was a huge signing because a bunch of people wanted him in and out the country.
Mm-hmm.
Number 6, I got DJ. DJ is DJ. He's steady 6 on your list as well as mine. Number 7 is Chris Golden.
7.
The elite shooter.
7.
Of course. 7.
3-year deal. Face of the
that's
franchise.
huge. That is huge.
Tazzy.
But you're not walking into the finals with Chris Golden.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Elite shooter, the best 2 guard in this league.
Mm.
Number 8, Deng Adele. Number 9, Finn Delaney. 12 and 6, finished up super strong, and he wanted to come back because there is some unfinished business. I love how he finished off the season strong.
And he got a bag.
And he got back. And at number 10, coming off a career year and coming into this upcoming season as a starter, Sunday Dej. I'm rocking with him at 10.
Woo!
Now,
Sunday.
Now, here is my honorable mention.
Forget honorable mentions, mate. We've got
No.
Oh,
No.
come on, mate.
Let's hear
Honorable
it.
mentions.
Let's hear it.
Isaac Humphries,
Mm-hmm.
Donald Sloan.
Mm-hmm.
I got off the phone with him.
Ooh.
Look, these
Hello.
conversations I'm loving the conversations. And Liam Cam.
We weren't saying.
I am a believer. Dejan Vasiljevic. Listen,
Okay.
I am a believer.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's my list.
I
That's
like.
a great name. That's a great name. I feel
Yo.
bad I didn't have him in my honorable mentions because as we both know,
Yes.
I'm unashamedly all in on that
Look.
kid. And 2 years, if it had been a 3-year deal, it's a 2+1 mutual option, I think,
Oh,
final
come on,
year.
Oh,
Didn't
come
quite tip it in. I got to tell you, boys, though, when I first wrote it up, I had an honorable mentions list about 12 or 14.
Hey,
It was like everyone gets a mention.
I'll
Everyone
tell
gets
you.
a
I'll
mark.
tell you this. I don't even read the honorable mentions. We've got a list of 10. This isn't a one person and then honorable
hear you.
mentions. We don't need honorable mentions, and I think that's just a cop out from both of you to have them. They're
Oh.
great names.
Cop out.
No, I just looked at the list and I was like, look, Liam, also put honorable mention. So let me just give some other notables some props who, we're mentioning them honorably.
We're just naming the whole league now. Fair enough. Go on.
CG's got you on his list now, Corey.
Huh?
You're on CG's list now. For sure.
Oh, man. Well, yeah.
Did you get much
Cam?
feedback?
Did you have Cam? Where do you differ?
I would have. I did very much agree with your list, Liam. There's no doubt Bryce Cotton number 1. I think Chris Golding is number 2, mainly because we touched on this at the time. We know how important he is on court, but off court, that's not dissimilar to Bryce Cotton. Lamar Patterson a 3, mainly because to be able to go and I love what the New Zealand Breakers have done, and that goes the same with Tai Webster to be able to say, hey, Tai, we're gonna, and I think that goes a long way for the program and what they're building in New Zealand to be able to get Lamar Patterson and Webster to commit to stay in New Zealand. I love where Will Magnay's at. Daniel Johnson, it feels like 5 years ago that we had DJ on the show when he actually made that announcement. Cam Glidden, almost for his career more than Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. I think it's a huge year for him because 12 months ago, we watched him be part of a Boomers team and then watched him struggle over the course of the season as well. So I'm with you. I love the technicality, though, that Corey was able to find a loophole and be able to get Casper in there because I think everyone's excited as hell to see that. And I wouldn't have had rookies on the list involved at all, only because it's just a little bit of a different, slight tinkering of the list. But I understand they're going to be critically important to team success. And I think that's a huge part of when we talk about these rookies or next stars coming in. It's changed. Maybe 5 years ago, they'd sit at the end of the bench. But these guys, a lot of these guys are going to have a big say in the fortunes of their franchises over the NBL 21.
So you've pretty much copied my homework and given us nothing.
It's pretty much. Pretty much. I 100% agree with you, Liam. Whatever you say.
I like it.
And I also, and when Liam, Homicide said before, Liam and Cam, and you said we haven't signed yet. Who knows what's going to happen over the next? Hey, 2020 has been a screwed year. Us coming off the bench wouldn't be the most absurd thing to happen.
Well, you'd be up there.
It most certainly would. Hey, just on what's going to happen in the next couple of months. Of course, we're on NBA draft watch. We spoke a lot about LaMelo Ball, RJ Hampton. We touched on Josh Green a little bit. But Terry Armstrong, of course, we didn't get to see a great deal of him last year at Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. Injured and just didn't quite work out. But he has had a number of interviews, Homicide, and maybe we'll see Terry Armstrong get drafted in a couple of weeks' time. What do you make of this?
Well, honestly, let's just hope that he can maybe get in some workouts. You know, it's unfortunate with COVID. There's no summer league. You know what I mean? Like a team can't just bring you in and you just show what you can do. It's not that type of year. So, you know, just fingers crossed, and hopefully somebody will give him an opportunity. That's all you can ask for.
And it was reported as well, Sam Froling, a couple of little Zoom chats getting around. Liam, can you add anything around Sam Froling? Because not to suggest that I don't love Sam Froling in his game, but that kind of did take me by surprise when that was reported last week.
Yeah. So we saw the interview with the Charlotte Hornets, and then the report from Olgun Ulick from ESPN that he's had numerous of those Zoom chats with NBA teams. And look, he's got a lot of upside, and there's a lot to like about him. Is he going to get drafted? Probably not. Highly unlikely. But it does go to show that, you know, he has a lot of potential, and it also goes to show that, and what's, you know, all these interviews with Terry Armstrong as well. It just further illustrates the fact that these teams, they leave no stone unturned. They do all their homework. They really spread their wings and talk to a whole bunch of people and make sure that they've had a look at everyone, because you never know what gems you might be able to uncover if you're willing to look.
Hey, anything else, Homicide? You better say something.
I just wanted to add to what Liam was saying, and it just goes to show you the value that people know that's in this league. You know, a lot of times, a lot of people are in a bubble and not knowing what's happening outside of Australia in regards to how this league is actually respected. You understand what I'm saying? Like, people don't know. As an American, I know the vibes in America, how people are looking at this league. So it doesn't surprise me Terry Armstrong is getting interviews. It doesn't surprise me Sam Froling is getting interviews, because guess what? Let's say you made a highlight tape of Sam Froling. You see the potential. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, look, this young fella can go. Let's keep an eye on him. If this league was a cupcake league, I guarantee you those phone calls would not be happening.
Agreed. Hey, the commish dropped a couple of weeks ago in a podcast about a possible feeder league, and we spoke about it last week, but the NBL1, we touched on it, and the announcement of the NBL1 West, which now means all but New South Wales are going to be covered. Now, of course, this doesn't run over the summertime at the same time as the NBL or the WNBL, but it does run in the off-season, and we've seen so much of the talent in the NBL hone their games and put up big numbers in the winter months. This is just continuing to be bigger and better for basketball in this country. NBL West, I'm going to go on the limb and say that NBL Sydney, the Waratah League, at some point they will join forces. We'll have an entire country covered. Of course, didn't happen in 2020 due to COVID. But Liam, I'll start with you, because you and I have done a little bit of the NBL1 stuff. This is great.
It is. It's great news. The Western Australia coming on board, and it's one step closer to, you know, in the evolution of this league to becoming a fully national competition. And, you know, it's, as you said, I think it's only a matter of time. Hopefully it is, because once that's put in place, we saw the success of what was the NBL1, but is essentially the NBL1 South in its inaugural season. And, you know, the players, the clubs, they love it. They love the branding. They love the media exposure. They love the way it's run. And to spread that right across the country, to then set up this opportunity to play a national championships where the top teams from each competition play off. It's big future for this competition.
I think I did call the NBL West, NBL1 West, obviously. But you touched on it. The professionalism of the league appealed to so many people, not just the players who might have been trying to work their way into a contract at the next level, but players, Nathan Sobey. Yeah, Boomer, he's gone back and played. We see Harry Froling went back and played this year. Now, it was a little bit different because of the fact that COVID meant that some states played later and others didn't play at all. But the very fact is, Homicide, in a quick word, this league is going from bigger and better each and every year.
I mean, again, I talked about it last week. When you want to be the best, you want to be regarded as the best outside of the NBA. You follow and watch what the best do. Kobe did it with Mike. The NBL is doing it with the NBA. They are aligning forces and setting it up the same way. That's the recipe to success. I don't want to compete with you. I want to collaborate with you. So let's get all the states on the same page and let's join forces and get this thing done. And it's just going to give, like it's an umbrella being made right in front of us. It's going to give a lot of guys a lot of credibility, jobs, playing in a quality, respected league, and it's going to give them potential looks to make it to the big show. And ultimately, that's all you want.
All right. Got some good news, guys. Some good news. Santa's Watching is back, I believe. Is this true?
Yeah, a little different. A little different with, we're not I don't have the big screen right there, but.
You wearing thongs still at least?
Actually, do you know what? I am.
There you go. Hey, sometimes things change. Sometimes things stay the same.
I tell you what, a couple of things caught my attention over the last couple of days. Of course, Halloween was up and about. I enjoyed this work from the Brisbane crew. This is a little Pocahontas action with Matt Hodgson and his better half, little John Smith. Do we like that from Big Hodgie?
I like it.
Yeah, we like that. We like that.
All right, what do we got? This the half, a little Baywatch style with Nathan Sobey.
We like that too.
Okay. I think Tamari Wigness might. Oh, do you like Scorpion? That's Didi Luzada.
Is it?
Representing a little Mortal Kombat.
That's how good the costume was.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Cam didn't even recognize it.
No idea.
So some good work. And this is Justin Simon, the new Hawks import in quarantine. Doesn't quite have the understanding of the Wheat Bix just yet. Just eating that sucker like it's a Tim Tam.
He's not. No, hang on. This was. I haven't seen this, and I'm sure this is on the Hawks. Yep. Is this a challenge, or he was actually trying to eat?
No. Just no one's worded him up on getting the milk involved.
Oh man.
He's gonna need someone to run him through the tradition. Who are the Hawks is going to be able to do that? That's
a ball drop there from the Hawks, the hotel staff. Just slip a little note, keep it COVID safe.
That's true. There's a plethora of people to blame there.
But nice to see him on Australian soil, and only a matter of time before he's out there on the floor with the Hawks.
All right, now we move.
Hold on. I gotta say something. There's something I gotta talk about. Now, this came to my attention. Reading a quote that the NBL posted by a player, and listen, the energy is spicy. Whoever's playing my position every night is getting it. It doesn't matter who. Every night I'm coming for them. Tai Webster immediately has my respect. The league doesn't start till mid-January, and the energy is up. He's letting you know, Casper, I just want you to know, come back heavy. I know you are, but I'm just saying, he coming for your head, B. Pause. He coming for you. He coming for everybody.
Mate.
I'm going to read that again. Whoever's playing my position every night is getting it. He don't plan on taking a night off. I don't care who you are. I'm coming to take your head off. Straight like that. Shout out to Tai Webster coming in here, setting the tone. I had to follow him on that note.
That's what he was aiming for when he posted that quote, I think.
Oh, no, he wasn't. But it got my attention.
In fact, Corey, his energy is sensational. It was
Yeah.
that came out of my isolation conversation.
Yeah.
with him, and you will love it. So I asked him, I said, Deng Adele, he hit me with like his kill list, like who he's coming after. Who are you looking forward to matching up on? And he was like this. He took a moment and he kind of looked out into the ether and he got a little dreamy. And he was like, oh, there's so many. And then he goes, I want the big fish.
He talking about Casper. That's who he
He
wants.
said, Cotton and them. And I was like, okay, Casper. And he's like, all them guys. I'm coming for them.
You know what?
I was sitting there thinking, Corey's going to be loving this. Yeah. He's
Man, like,
He's
this
terrific.
is, I love it because, man, look, I don't like that humble stuff. Come in, man. You're a confident guy playing this game. You got to have some sort of confidence. Okay, everybody's not a talker. Cool, I get it. But the ones that do, I love. Oh, I can't wait. Cotton, come on, hold on. You can't call out King Cotton yet.
He just said, I want the big fish.
But he played a point. You know what I'm saying? He played point. So I'm just going to say, for the sake of position, I'm just taking his words as I see it. The big dog at the point in this league is Casper.
He actually did kind of call him Cosper, just quietly. I don't know if that kind of slipped by people, but
well, if it did, it hasn't now since Liam's just gone bang.
I don't know. You might want to get the man's name.
Was it the accent?
It might have been.
Oh,
Let's give him the benefit of the doubt.
yeah, let's do that. Hey, anything else before we get out of here, boys?
It's a wrap.
I think it's a wrap. Hashtag NBL Overtime. So much to get into. It is, as I started on the show, we spoke to Connor Henry about it. We've got some preseason games scheduled in, so we're getting closer. Slowly but surely, we're getting towards a tip-off in NBL 21. Hashtag NBL Overtime to get involved. We do it all thanks to LD Mobile. Boys, we'll see you next week.
Okay. Peace.